is individualism? What does it have to do with things like being part of a family or part of a community? I'd like to first discuss a couple of things that individualism is not, to dispel a couple of misconceptions, and then get into what I think of as the heart of individualism. So first, individualism is not about being a loner. So the common stereotype here is you fortify your house, you put up a big fence, preferably an electric fence, so that you can keep the world outside and you do your own thing inside your own little world, right? But that's not what really individualism is all about. Individualists seek loving relationships with others. They seek strong, meaningful friendships and good trading relationships with other people out there in the marketplace. And they do this to enrich our lives. So that's part of individualism. The second thing individualism is not is about hurting others or watching others suffer. So you may have seen the recent CNN-hosted debate for Republican candidates. And Wolf Blitzer was asking Ron Paul about what happens when somebody gets sick and they don't have health insurance. And Ron Paul said a few words about individual responsibility. And then Wolf Blitzer fired up, well, Congressman, should society just let him die? And Ron Paul said no, and the audience supported Paul in that position. But right after the question, a few people cheered. Now, I don't think they were giving their serious or reflective view on that position, but nevertheless, it gave various people in the media ammunition to say, well, the Tea Partiers are just about letting people die, being insensitive and heartless. But that's not individualism at all. Individualists say, yes, help other people in need by your own initiative. And do so when it's responsible and when it's consistent with your broader set of values. So individualism is not about being a loner, not about watching others suffer. So what is it then? I think there are a couple of key elements here. The first element is individualists are independent thinkers. That is, you don't believe what the crowd says just because the crowd is saying it. Instead, you look at reality as your guide. You look at the available evidence, and you seek out new evidence to draw your conclusions. You use your own capacity for reason and logic in light of the evidence to draw your conclusions about reality. Now, of course, we can learn an enormous amount from other people. Especially as humans with language, we can learn from previous generations. Still, though, the individual must evaluate what other people are saying by his own reasoning capacity. Next, individualists are about seeing the individual human being as the source of moral values. So, in other words, people have the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. It's good and right for each individual, you, me, to pursue our own lives, to seek to sustain and enrich our own lives, and to pursue our own values. And so contrast individualism with collectivism, a common philosophy of 20th century totalitarian regimes, whether you look at the National Socialists in Germany or the Communists in Russia or China. And there, the individual is meaningless by himself. The individual only serves a purpose insofar as it serves the collective or the state. Individualists reject that notion and see individual human beings as a source of values. So hopefully now you have a little bit better understanding of what individualism is and is not. It's not about being a loner, not about watching others suffer or hurting other people. It is about being an independent thinker, recognizing that each person has to use his own brain to evaluate the world, and about seeing each individual person as good and right in his own life and the source of moral values.